And in the chat box, I already sent the link of the for the gossip box, so all the delegates can send the hottest tea that you want to send, for example. But remember to not to be racist. Maybe some of you like the other delegates at the first sight, or like their voices, or maybe you like the board of directors. You can put everything in the gossip box and write a lot, so we can read it after the committee sessions, 2 days or two delegates. Don't forget to fill up the gossip box. Yes, delegate.
Chair, I just wanted to apologize that I'm from Saudi
Sorry,
Arabia.
I cannot hear you. Can you please rename your with WHO and underscore your country allocation delegate? Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute, delegate. We will waiting for our rapporteur.
Recording in progress.
Yes, delegate of Saudi Arabia. You have the question.
I just wanted to apologize about me
You
joining
are still
late.
not audible, delegate. Huh? Is delegate of Saudi Arabia audible for all of you guys? Well, yeah, I think that's my fault. Yep, delegate of Saudi Arabia.
Can you hear me now, Chair?
Yes, yes, yes. My fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I just wanted to apologize about the previous section that I joined a bit late because I mentioned in the group that I was sick.
Yes, it's okay, delegates.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, delegates, for the confirmation.
Delegate Sir, Rapture is having some technical difficulties. Really sorry for the delay. Sure, can I start the roll call? I guess she's getting delayed.
Yep.
Thank you. Delegate of Colombia. Delegates, we are proceeding to the roll call.
Yes, I'm present.
Okay. Delegate, thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Switzerland.
Switzerland present and voting.
Delegate of Indonesia. Delegate of Indonesia. Delegate of Swaziland. Delegate of Bangladesh. Delegate of Bangladesh. Delegate of Afghanistan. Delegate of Brazil.
The delegate of Brazil is present and voting.
Delegate of Croatia. Delegate of Algeria. Delegate of Mexico.
Present.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Spain. Delegate of Nigeria.
Delegate of Nigeria is present.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Central African Republic.
Delegate of Central African Republic present and voting.
Delegate of Ukraine. Delegate of Iran.
Delegate of Iran present.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Timor-Leste.
The delegate of Timor-Leste is present and voting.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of New Zealand.
The delegate of New Zealand is present and voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Japan.
Delegate of Japan is present and voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of India.
Present and voting.
Delegate of Australia.
Present.
Delegate of China.
The delegate of China is present and voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of France. Delegate of France. Delegate of Fiji.
The delegate of Fiji is present.
Delegate of Belgium. Delegate of Belgium. Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Sweden.
Present.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of United States. Delegate of Thailand.
The delegate of Thailand is present.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Canada.
Delegate of Canada is present and voting.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Rapture, are you present?
Yes, all screen share.
Okay.
Co-chair?
Thank you. Yes, Delegate.
You did not mention delegate of Saudi Arabia.
Really sorry, Delegate.
Yes.
Just a second. What is your voting stance?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What is your voting stance? Present or present and voting, or just present?
No, present.
Okay, thank you, Delegate. Okay, I'll stop the screen share.
The host
Rapture?
has disabled screen sharing for me. Do you know how to
Just a
look at it?
second. Just a second. Chair, are you present?
Yes.
Can you please make Rapture co-host?
Okay. Wait a minute.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, I think the team already changed me from the host to the co-host, but I already asked the tech IGN to put our reporter as the co-host. Wait a second, I think. Yep, already done. You are being muted, coach.
Really sorry. Rapture, over to you. Start the screen share. Okay, we'll move on to the GSL. Thank you. Delegates who wishes to be added to the GSL list, please raise your hand. Delegates who wishes to be added on the list, please raise your hand. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you have been recognized. Delegate of Japan, you have been recognized. Please raise down your hand. Delegate of Central Africa, you have been recognized. Delegate of Nigeria, you have been recognized. Delegate of Iran, you have been recognized. Delegate of New Zealand, you have been
Sorry,
recognized.
coach. I think the rapporteur has the technical issues.
Yes.
Is she lagging?
No. I need to log in. So, could you like temporarily screen share? I'll sort it out.
Okay, sure. Okay. Delegate of Japan. Delegate of New Zealand. Delegate of Iran. Delegate of India. Delegate of Ukraine. Delegates who are recognized, please lower down your hand. Delegate of Central African Republic, you have been recognized. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you have been recognized. Delegate of Nigeria, you have been recognized. Delegate, please mute yourself if you are not speaking. Delegate of Switzerland. Delegates, you have been recognized. Please lower down your hand.
The delegate of
Okay.
Timor-Leste has a point of parliamentary inquiry.
Sure, Delegate. Go ahead.
The delegate would like to ask, what is the point of this general speakers list? Is it to raise another motion for another moderated caucus, or is it the same as the first general speakers list?
The purpose of this general speakers list is basically your country stance, and for general speakers list, it's mostly for encouraging the speakers who haven't spoken yet as of now, and you can just go forward with your country stances on this. So yeah, there will be general speakers list frequently, just as like on mods and unmods. Thank you, Delegate. I hope I have clarified your query.
Thank you.
Delegate of Fiji, you have been recognized. Sorry, delegates, we are not recognizing more delegates now. Okay. Delegate of Mexico, are you ready? Delegate of Mexico.
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
Thank you. Dear Honorable Chairs, Chair Couture, and delegates, in 1347, the world was hit by the Black Death, ending between 75 and 2,000 million people over time until 1351. Later, in 1520, with 56 million deaths, smallpox devastated the world's population. Although smallpox is known to have been found in the remains of Egyptian mummies dating back to the 3rd century before Christ. What these pandemics have in common is that they occur in environments where there are no adequate hygienic conditions worthy of human being, for example, clean water and water sanitation. Besides, there is disinformation. With monkeypox disease, the disinformation occurs because the Mexico don't want to stigmatize male sex LGBT plus community members, since 97% of the infected population in Mexico are males who have had sexual relations with the same sex. It's important to spread information from everywhere. So mandatory talk for parents, teachers, and students raise awareness
Recording in
On
progress.
29 July 2022. Currently, there are around more than 5,000 reported active cases, and it's growing day by day. Government is trying with its utmost capacity to control the situation. The number of tests conducted all around the country has been increased to a greater extent by providing training to the lab workers. Moreover, a committee has been appointed by the health ministry of the country so as to look over the position of the underdeveloped areas and create a proper health setup at those underdeveloped areas for the combat of this greater challenge. Spreading awareness among the people, the country believes is one of the biggest challenges faced by it, and it was very well combated by the people using various strategies, by using social media, mass media, and various programs at different stages of the government. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Japan, you may have the floor now if you're ready.
Thank you, Chair. Japan commends all the nations who made their points about contact tracing and increasing vaccine availability and also raising information among the population. So, Japan is for strong contact tracing and surveillance responses. Japan proposes that all countries must employ cluster contact tracing in a way that a positive individual is reported immediately and all its close contacts would be reported to the government and be tracked and be given preventive medicine or vaccines. So, in terms of the vaccines, the availability is still very scarce, and Japan calls on other nations, especially countries that manufacture vaccines, to make increase the manufacturing of vaccines, and most importantly, the testing kits as well, as mentioned by Switzerland earlier. And Japan also wants to discuss later on in the committee the country's stances on surveillance and spreading information other than teleworking and the social media. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of New Zealand, are you here?
Yes, Chair.
You may have the floor now.
Thank you. Together for a Healthier World is one of Dr. Ghebreyesus' notable statements. It is a good reminder that we, as members of the United Nations, should act as one, despite certain differences, in pursuit of a healthier world. With the previous topics discussed, New Zealand is delighted to hear various insights on how we can move forward from this global health concern. Furthermore, New Zealand hopes to tackle vaccination, contact tracing, and information sharing for the rest of the session. New Zealand would also like to restate their proposed policy RAPID with a three-pronged approach consisting of rapid information sharing, rapid response, and rapid testing along with contact tracing. Again, we are looking forward to collaborating with our fellow member states and coming up with the best possible solutions to the issue at hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Iran,
Yes.
you may have the floor now.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, the Islamic Republic of Iran is a great country with a wide area and dispersed population. Specific geographical situation of Iran and mass immigration from Afghanistan, Iraq, wars, insecurity after in its region, and illegal drugs traffic from its eastern borders with Pakistan and Afghanistan have all affected the health status in the Iran. Now that we talk about monkeypox, some societies have not yet been able to fully eradicate COVID epidemic like Iran, which is still grappling with COVID-19 pandemic. For developing countries like Iran, there is no adequate health services, and it still needs attention and various preventive measures. The monkeypox outbreak has sounded the alarm for the Iran healthcare system that it may encounter the possibility of infection with monkeypox. We all know that it is better to prepare and prevent than it is to repair and repent, because a milligram of prevention is worth a kilogram of cure. Preventive measures against monkeypox should be taken by the national healthcare authorities. To overcome the situation, Iranian government has to ensure proper free.
With 1 minute and 30 seconds speaking time per delegate on the topic of member state initiatives in
Recording in
Of the
progress.
proposed mechanisms of each member states in strengthening surveillance and responses against monkeypox.
Delegate of Japan, what was your total duration?
15 minutes.
And individual speaking time?
1 minute and 30 seconds. In total, 90 seconds. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Delegate of Timor-Leste, can you please type it up? Thank you so much. What is the total time?
15 minutes and then 90 seconds speaking time per delegate.
Thank you. Delegate of Switzerland, you have been recognized. Delegate of Switzerland, you have been recognized for the motion.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Switzerland would like to propose a motion in moderated caucus for 15 minutes with 60 seconds for general speaking list with testing and contact tracing strategy for monkeypox outbreak. Thank you.
Please type it out on the chat box.
Okay.
What is the total time, delegate? Delegate of Switzerland, what is the total time and what is the individual speaking time?
Oh, sorry.
Delegate of Switzerland, what is the total time and what is the individual speaking time?
15 minutes and 60 seconds for each delegate speaking.
Okay, delegate, noted. Okay, now we will move on to the voting procedure. First, we'll vote for the most disruptive motion by Delegate of Japan. Delegates who are in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Going once, going twice. This motion fails. Okay. Now we will move on to the second motion proposed by Delegate of Timor-Leste. Delegates in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. We need a motion to proceed with the committee. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor for this motion, please raise your hand. Going once, going twice, this motion fails as well. Okay, now we are on the last motion proposed by a delegate of Switzerland. We need 14 votes to pass a motion. Delegates, we need to pass one motion to proceed with the committee. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Delegates, we need to proceed with the committee. And we need to pass this motion. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we have to proceed under the Board of Dia's discretion. We need to pass this since we need at least one motion to pass. Okay, under chairs, okay, this motion passed. Thank you so much, delegates. Okay, delegate of Switzerland, are you willing to be added on as the first speaker or the last one?
I would like to speak at last. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Delegates who are wishes to be added, please raise your hand now. Delegate of France, you have been recognized. Delegate of, okay. Thank you so much, Rapture. Delegate of France. Delegate of Timor-Leste. Delegate of New Zealand. Delegate of Japan. Delegate of Fiji. Delegate of Brazil. Delegate of Belgium. Delegate of China. Delegate of Central African Republic. Delegate of India. Delegate of, okay, I guess all of the delegates have been recognized. Delegates, please lower down your hands who are recognized. Thank you so much, Rapture. Okay, and add Switzerland. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, France, are you present on the meeting? Delegate of France. Delegate of France, are you present on the meeting? Perhaps to remove France. Delegate of Timor-Leste, are you ready?
Yes.
You may proceed.
According to WHO, only half of the 6 global regions are reporting cases adequately. Only 42.9% are reported in the Southeast Asian region, 29.5% in the African region, and 13.9% in the Western Pacific region. This sudden increase in the cases of monkeypox suggests a detrimental gap in surveillance and responses in mitigating this outbreak. To improve this, Timor-Leste asks for an increased transparency from world governments and to diligently report cases to the WHO. Moreover, the country proposes to sensitize and better train health workers to provide reliable and accessible diagnostic tests. The delegation also urges for the member states by strengthening contact tracing by digitizing, if possible, to increase efficiency, and to, in general, provide adequate counseling and promote self-reporting. And thus, Timor-Leste calls on all the member states to diligently watch and prepare for monkeypox. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of New Zealand, you may have the floor now.
Thank you, Chair. As proven with the COVID-19 experience, the quality of contact tracing is vital in determining whether or not a country will successfully withstand the virus. New Zealand has been prioritizing the improvement of contact tracing to effectively prevent the escalation of cases and minimize the casualties. Establishing stable and consistent communication between authorities and the public is a must to achieve this goal. Guided by the World Health Organization's integrated disease surveillance and response mechanism, New Zealand calls upon the member states to promote robust contact tracing through the utilization of multifaceted surveillance networks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Japan, you may have
Hello,
the
am I
floor now.
audible?
Yes, you are. Proceed.
Okay. With over 67,500 confirmed cases found in 106 countries as of September 28th, there is a definite reason for all national governments to be alarmed and provide strong contact tracing for everyone. The state of Japan would like to endorse Japan's own initiative, Hinode Framework, as a means to resolve the issue of contact tracing by a cluster response. Cluster response is recommended to be conducted as for our mechanism in Japan, there will individuals who show 3 or more symptoms are recognized as potential carriers, and they are advised to seek medical attention immediately and undertake home isolation for 2 weeks. Highly transmissible close contacts, on the other hand, will be recorded, and be advised to take post-exposure preventive vaccination. Japan also recommends the use of applications such as COCO to minimize the spread of COVID-19. This application can track dates and locations of users and they have stayed in, and it will notify those who have come in close contact with the specific person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Fiji, are
Yes.
you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
Thank you, Chair. Okay. Now the delegate of Fiji is talking. For the monkeypox, while monkeypox cases had increased in many parts of the world, in Fiji there is no history of monkeypox cases has been found. So that is why Fiji does not have many information about monkeypox. Nevertheless, this is due to the fact that the ministry has set an approach to distributing the process of detection for monkeypox to several areas since the early period of outbreak. Moreover, Fiji is developing the genome sequencing method, which will help the ministry to cope with the situation in the future, since genome sequencing is a process that had been used to identify the viruses. Although monkeypox cases in Fiji have been reported below, the ministry is aware of the outbreak and the team is trying to test the process of detecting monkeypox at the Fiji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Brazil, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
Brazil, as the monkeypox cases are increasing at an alarming rate all around the world. As on 27 September 2022, there were around 20,083 confirmed cases of monkeypox all around the world, and it is increasing at an alarming rate. Brazil hereby understands the severity of the situation and in the importance of rapid testing and contact tracing. There are several strategies prepared by Brazil so as to combat this. There is a Brazil has created an integrated information sharing system wherein all the different departments and whose access is to the common people and to the authorities, wherein all the people who are traced positive can share their details so that the government can take appropriate steps. Brazil also wants to collaborate with different countries so as to improve the situation all around the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Belgium, are you ready?
Yes.
On July 25, there were 393 confirmed instances of monkeypox infection in Belgium. As the disease spreads, Belgium is the first country to implement a mandatory 21-day quarantine for monkeypox patients. Only patients with a proven infection are subject to the required procedures in Belgium. According to a version of the official warning translated from Dutch in Belgium, infected patients will have to go into contact isolation until the injuries have healed. They will receive explicit instruction about this from the treating doctor. Thank you.
Okay, Delegate. Thank you. Delegate of China, are you ready?
Yes, co-chair.
You may have the floor now.
Thank you. The speed of transmission caused by the monkeypox virus is a threat to the public health as it slowly spreads towards several countries. With this in mind, the People's Republic of China supports the need for a strategic way of contact tracing those who are affected by the virus, for the nations to properly conduct their own quarantine measures. Though China only has one recorded case that has been controlled already, through some similar health protocols of the COVID-19 virus, we are open to planning and supporting the proposals of other nations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Central African Republic, are you ready?
Ready, co-chair.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you so much. For Central African Republic status, epidemiology and prevalence is so important if that you wanted to teaching and contact tracing strategy for monkeypox outbreak. Why? That's say like that. You can imagine in Central African Republic have the geographic person live with animal. That's gonna be dangerous for monkeypox disease. If that's you prevent for this case, you must prevent person live with animal. Approved live this should not be close to wild animals. Sanitation with the fine. If that's the health problem like that, you must have the sanitary is fine and geography is fine if that the person must live but not have access with wild animal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of India, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
As Mr. Churchill has said, that healthy citizens are the greatest asset any country can have. So India is following this quote, and for the surveillance strategy, it has already two-step based surveillance strategy. That one is hospital based, and then another is community based. All the health ministries and union health ministries are active on testing and contact tracing. So for the contact tracing, we have the guidelines like contact identification for with probable or the confirmed case, for like face-to-face exposure, direct physical contact, and the contact with contaminated materials like clothing or bedding. And after the contact identification, there is a proper strategy that the contact monitoring would be there for the period of 21 days, which is very important. And along with that, health workers are in the proper checkup and to maintain their health, as it can worsen any time. So thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Switzerland, are you ready?
Yes, co-chair.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you, co-chair and all delegates. Switzerland has become a country which was one of the affected countries in the Europe by the 2022 monkeypox outbreak. So far, there have been 416 confirmed cases of monkeypox that have been verified. However, we still need the strategy to identify this disease as soon as possible with testing strategy and also tracing plan. So a testing strategy is a tailored plan that specifies the tests that will be utilized as well as actions and consideration that must be made to make sure the testing is implemented successfully. The testing regulation, for example, early detection for people who have just arrived from overseas trade, and also testing in a variety of settings in communities, schools, and workplace. And also for the tracing plan, it needs the information technology system or IT system to trace suspected or contaminated individual from an infected person. And these strategies included documentation, modeling, and contact tracing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegates, please be mindful of the time while you are giving your speeches or doing mods or unmods. Okay, now we will move on to the motions again. Delegates who wishes to be who wishes to raise a motion, please raise your hand. Delegate of India, you may have the floor now.
The delegate of India wants to raise open moderated caucus for 15 minutes and speaking time with 1 minute on the topic management strategies for attention demanding groups. That attention demanding groups could be like children, preschool children, or homeless people, LGBTQ community, or even war zone people.
Okay, delegate.
The topic
Thank you. Delegates, please write down your motions, including the total time and this speaking time for our rapporteur.
Sorry, Delegate of India, is the topic correct?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, rapporteur. Delegate of New Zealand, you have been recognized.
The delegate of New Zealand would like to motion for an unmoderated caucus of with 20 minutes duration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, delegate. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you have been recognized.
The delegate of Timor-Leste seconds the motion of New Zealand to open an unmoderated caucus of 20 minutes.
Okay. Delegate of Switzerland.
Thank you, Coach. I would like to Switzerland would like to propose moderated caucus with 20 minutes and 90 seconds for each delegate to speak about global vaccine.
Sorry, delegate, it is not divisible, the time. Is it okay if we keep the total duration 15 minutes?
Oh, okay.
Perhaps you keep it 15. And what is the topic, delegate? Please type it out on the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
Rapture, Switzerland has proposed it. Thank you. Also, delegate of New Zealand, is it okay if we keep the unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes so that we can proceed? If any extension is reading?
Sure. If it really is not possible to make it 20 minutes, then 15 minutes would do. Thank you.
Okay, delegate. Thank you so much. Okay, now we will vote on the most disruptive motion by delegate of New Zealand. We need 14 votes to pass the motion, and delegates, we need motions to proceed with the committee. So please be mindful of that. Delegates who are in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor of this motion raised by delegate of New Zealand, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, this motion fails. Next motion is raised by delegate of India. Delegates in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. We need 14 votes to pass the motion, and we need motions to proceed. Come on, delegates, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Going once, going twice. This motion fails as well. This is the last motion, delegates, and moderated caucuses are really important for the other committee sessions, and most importantly, to proceed with the committee. Without motions, we can't proceed. with the committee. So we need to pass motion, otherwise it will be passed by the chair's discretion. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. We need 14 votes to pass a motion. We need 2 more votes to pass this motion. One more. We need 1 more vote to pass this motion. This motion fails as well. Delegates, we need mods to proceed with the committee. Rapture, please go to the GSL. Okay, delegates wishes to be added on the GSL list. Is there enough, Rapture?
This is the list, right?
Okay, thank you so much. So you can access it. Great. Okay. Delegate of India. Okay, Rapture, take your time. Take your time. No worries. Just copy that.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay. Any other delegates wish to be added on the list? Delegate of Canada, you have been recognized. Delegate of Canada. Delegate of Japan, you have been recognized. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you have been recognized. Any other delegates wishes to be added on the list? Okay, Timor-Leste is already on the list. Is he? Yeah. So add New Zealand. Okay, let's proceed with the list. Delegate of India, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, so as often Arthur said, that for he who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. So, according to the WHO, WHO has given a one health approach. So, one health approach is like it can design and implement policies that facilitate conversations between multiple sectors to achieve better outcomes. So, India has applied this approach in monitoring the animal and human diseases, as we know that this monkeypox is a zoonotic disease and animals provide an early warning to human beings. So both of the surveillance programs has been implemented. Like there is an integrated disease surveillance program that is done under NCDC to evaluate and to understand the surveillance program. In there, we have National Animal Disease Reporting System and National Animal Disease Referral Expert System, in which all the things are going on with the technology and, of course, with the online platforms. So this is helping to understand especially to prepare a prevalence of understanding that how monkeypox would be spread if it would be spreading in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Ukraine, are you ready? Delegate of Ukraine, are you ready? Rapporteur, please remove Delegate of Ukraine. Delegate of Central African Republic, are you ready?
Yeah, ready, co-chair.
You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Central African Republic have two database of the epidemiology and prevalence. That's so important for the next research that wanted to have the new solution for monkeypox disease. Actually, that's vaccination. And before vaccination, that's their classification of virus. If that's the reservoir or the other country or the United Nations or World Health Organization wanted to classification, we can make for database for Central African Republic. We can make collaboration. That's big collaboration can be the new solution and a big solution for monkeypox disease. For a database of I'm sorry for vaccination cannot to related if that's the classification of virus and classification for vaccination is not complete and it's not clear. That's not fine. It's that not fine for this cat. Actually, if that's we wanted to vinyl for this cat, yeah, actually we must do collaboration. That's for the epidemiology and prevalence database for Central African Republic. Thank you.
Okay, Delegate of Timor-Leste, are you ready?
Yes, Chair.
You may have the floor now.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates. This challenge we face today is indifferent, similar to the ones we faced in the past. Both the smallpox eradication and COVID-19 pandemic has given us experience in dealing with health crisis. Yet, world governments still mirror our failures in these battles. Timor-Leste endorses a three-pronged evidence-based framework to direct policies in effectively stemming monkeypox. We reiterate adopting e-vaccine or enhancing vaccination, collaborations, and surveillance. This initiative endorses one, strengthened surveillance and responses, two, awareness through community engagements, and three, vaccine equity. The delegate would like to emphasize on other proposed solutions later in the caucuses. We cannot defeat this virus one country at a time. We can only do it with a coordinated global effort based on the principles of solidarity, equity, and sharing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Okay, now we will move on to the motions. Delegates who want to raise a motion, please raise your hand. Delegates who want to raise a motion, please raise your hand. Okay, Delegate of Brazil. You are recognized. Delegate of Brazil.
The delegation of Brazil wants an open unmoderated caucus for the duration of 15 minutes.
Okay, noted, Delegate. Delegate of Timor-Leste. You have been recognized.
Again, the delegate of Timor-Leste would like to motion for 15 minutes unmoderated caucus, but since Brazil already motioned that, the delegate seconds their motion.
Noted, Delegate. Delegate of New Zealand. You have been recognized.
I apologize for that, Chair. The previous delegates already motioned for an unmoderated caucus, and I agree with them. Thank you.
Any other delegates wants to raise a motion? We need 3 motions. Any other delegates? We need 2 more motions. Delegates, we need 2 more motions to proceed with the committee. Delegate of Colombia, you have been recognized. Okay. Delegate of Switzerland, you have been recognized.
Thank you, Co-Chair. Switzerland would like to propose the moderated caucus for 15 minutes to talk about vaccination global equitable distribution with 60 seconds duration for each delegate to speak. And thank you.
Noted, Delegate. Delegate of India, you have been recognized.
The delegate of India would like to raise open unmoderated caucus for 20 minutes.
Okay. So now we will, Rapture, are we ready?
Sorry, give me.
Sure. Take your time. Okay. Just delete one. Thank you so much, Rapture. So we will vote on the most disruptive motion raised by delegate of India of 20-minute unmoderated caucus. Delegates who wishes to vote, please raise your hand. We need 14 votes to pass the motion, and it is important to have motions frequently to discuss the topic. Delegates who wishes to vote, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Just important fact, do not abstain yourself from voting because it is really important. Please raise your hand. We need 14 votes. Okay, this motion fails. Delegates, now we are moving on to the second motion of 15-minute unmoderated caucus raised by Delegate of Brazil. Delegates in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. Going once, going twice. This motion fails. Okay, now the last motion raised by a delegate of Switzerland. Delegates in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Okay, under chair's discretion, this motion. Okay, thank you so much, delegates. This motion passes. Delegate of Switzerland. What do you want? Do you want to be added first or last?
I would like to speak at first. Thank you, co-chair.
Thank you so much. Any other delegates wishes to be added on the list? Please raise your hand. Delegate of New Zealand. You have been recognized. Delegate of Central African Republic, you have been recognized. Delegate of Fiji, you have been recognized. Delegate of Japan, you have been recognized. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you have been recognized. Delegate of Canada, you have been recognized. Any other delegates? Delegate of India, you have been recognized. Rapture, how many delegates do we have?
8 currently, I think. Yeah.
Add delegate,
7 more.
Add delegate of Colombia. Okay, now let's start. Delegates who are recognized, please lower down your hands. Thank you. Delegate of Switzerland, are you ready?
Yes, ready, co-chair.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you, co-chair and distinguished delegates. Even though the number of affected people in Switzerland was escalating until August 24, we still didn't have any access to monkeypox vaccine, and some people crossed the border to France because they heard news of the availability of more vaccines in the country. Some were accepted, however, others refused due to the reason the vaccine available only for France. And we believe that the therapeutic and vaccination distribution is a problem to concern and also for another member state. So we would like to propose the therapeutic and vaccination globally equitable distribution. And the strategies is aimed to improve treatment and vaccination coverage involving multiple strategies for treating and prevent the infectious spreading, including flexible and reliable governance, ample and reliable financing, and also open collaboration. And to commit to open the scientific collaboration, transparency, and the sharing of data. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of New Zealand, are you ready?
Yes, co-chair. Thank you.
You may have the floor now.
Even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, the creation, production, and distribution of vaccines was an arduous process. Financial disparities also left some nations at a disadvantage as they were able to acquire the vaccines at a much later time. With the right approach, New Zealand believes that we can come up with a proper system for affordable and efficient vaccine production and distribution, which can lead to equitable access and enough supplies. As the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres stated, we are in this together and we will get through this together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Central African Republic, are you ready?
Yes, ready, co-chair.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you so much. The solution for the virus or the case like clinical disease that actually is vaccination. Of course, for Central African Republic, that's proper for vaccination global equitable for distribution. That's actually for COVID-19. That's we cannot to remake. That's learning by vaccination, and we cannot do learning for HIV. HIV does not make that's not their vaccination, and for HIV, then have a solution for this case. Actually, if this monkeypox cannot do distribution cannot do all global, that is a better. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Fiji, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Well, as we know that there is no case of monkeypox cases has been found in Fiji, so for the Fiji is in the discussion with the development partner to see if they can preposition access to vaccines and medications used to treat the monkeypox. Well, however, vaccination that is used against monkeypox has been 85% effective in the prevention of monkeypox. Well, furthermore, many countries have set regulations to control the situation of outbreak of monkeypox and restricted the importation of animals identified as monkeypox hosts. Other captive animals that have high chance of getting infected must be isolated from other animals and should be quarantined and observed for the symptoms for 30 days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Japan, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the
Governments
floor.
of wealthy nations have been scrambling to buy vaccines, but what's available for the rest of the world, right? According to the World Health Organization, vaccination still remains the utmost priority as a protective measure against monkeypox. Thus, Japan emphasizes the need for equitable and steady manufacturing and supply of third-gen smallpox vaccines available. In managing the response, vaccination should be considered an additional measure to complement primary public health interventions. And Japan is one of the nations that currently has a vaccine implemented. And however, it is still not recommended for widespread use due to the company stating that they will be going for a second approval after more research. And with this, Japan calls on other nations such as USA, China, and Denmark to start the rigorous production of vaccines and be able to provide for all the other nations as needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Timor-Leste, are you ready?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
You may have the
Human
floor.
solidarity and economic self-interest. Of the more than 10 billion COVID doses given out worldwide, only 1% have been administered in low-income countries. This means that 2.8 billion people around the world are still waiting for their first shot. With that, Timor-Leste proposes to bridge these disparities. This can be done through 1. Addressing intellectual property issues, 2. Strengthening multinational trade facilitation measures, 3. Increasing and geographically diversifying vaccine manufacturing. But above all, it is imperative that we ensure vaccines supplied to high-income countries are also supplied proportionately to lower-income countries. Thus, the delegation implores all member states to secure access to vaccines around the world, including the hardest to reach places, including places of conflict and insecurity, and to prioritize international solidarity over economic self-interest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Canada, are you ready?
Yes, co-chair.
You may have the floor now. Delegate of Canada. Delegate of Canada, you are lagging. Delegate of Canada, you are lagging.
Oh, am I still lagging?
No, you're not. You may start.
Okay. Vaccines have prevention of monkeypox.
Delegate of Canada, you are lagging again. We are adding you on the
vaccines
Delegate of Canada. Delegate of Canada.
Yes, chair. Yes, co-chair.
We are adding you on the end of the list. Now, thank you, Rapture. Delegate of India, are you ready?
Yes.
You may have the floor now.
The scientists from India has proposed that there is a waning immunity in humans due to discontinuation of the smallpox vaccine as it was giving up 85% of protection from the monkeypox. So it has been proposed that there should be vaccination, especially to the prone population to the monkeypox, for example, to the old people and to the children, because they have a very weak immunity. Although there is no clearance about which type of vaccination should be given to these people or population, but yes, to reduce the mortality rate, which is like 30% from the monkeypox, we really need vaccinations. So India proposes to come together on one page, and again requesting everyone to be on one page and join hands to work together for the vaccination and to remove this uh, disease, communicable disease. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Colombia, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
You may have the floor now.
Monkeypox is not highly contagious because it requires close physical contact with someone carrying the virus. A coordinated response can stop transmission and protect vulnerable groups. Since the outbreak began to expand in early May 2022, rapidly issuing public health and clinical guidance, engaging with communities actively, and convening hundreds of scientists and researchers to speed up research and development on monkeypox and the potential for new diagnostics, vaccines, and treatments to be developed. Colombia proposes the member states to lay a specific emphasis on allocating a significant amount of the funds to the areas that need more attention, such as health, and creating public awareness activities and encouraging for taking vaccination to the proper production and after the distribution. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Canada, are you ready now? Delegate of Canada.
Sure.
You may have the floor now.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Rapture. Chair, is Delegate of Canada audible to you?
Yes, audible, but still lagging, co-chair.
Okay. Delegate of Canada, you are still lagging. Okay. So sorry, Delegate, for your internet connection. We hope that you will have more chances to speak. Okay. Now move on to the motions again. Okay. Delegates who wishes to raise a motion, please raise your hand. Yes, Delegate of China, you have been recognized.
Thank you, Co-Chair. The delegate of China would like to set a motion for a 15-minute moderated caucus with 1 minute and 30 seconds speaking time for each delegate on discussing the research on monkeypox vaccine and battling the virus. Thank you.
Delegate, please type it out on the chat box so it will be easier for our
Yes,
rapporteur.
Co-Chair.
Thank you. Delegate of Timor-Leste, you've been recognized.
The delegation of Timor-Leste would like to motion for an unmoderated caucus for 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Delegate of Japan, you have been recognized.
The delegate of Japan motions for a 10-minute moderated caucus with 1 minute speaking time per delegate on the topic of mass informing the general population on monkeypox.
Thank you so much, Delegate. Please type it out on the chat box.
Yes.
Rapporteur, let me know once we are ready. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rapporteur. Delegate, okay, now we are going to vote on the most disruptive motion raised by Delegate of Timor-Leste of 15-minute unmoderated caucus. Delegates who wishes this motion to pass, please raise your hand. We need 14 votes to pass the motion, as you can see. Delegates in favor, please raise your hand. The guideline from the Board of Dias is delegates, please don't abstain yourself from voting. We need one more vote to pass this motion. The Board of Directors, us chairs, and Rapporteur, we all encourage you to take this unmoderated caucus. It is needed. We need one more vote for this. Thank you so much. This motion clearly passes. Delegates, now you're on a 15-minute unmoderated caucus, and the time starts now. Rapporteur, turn it on.
Timor-Leste would like to raise a point of inquiry.
You don't need delegates, one important part. You don't need to raise your hand while talking on the unmoderated caucus.
I have a question.
You can proceed with the conversation.
Are there going to be breakout rooms given to us for this unmoderated caucus?
Breakout rooms?
Breakout rooms, yes.
If you want, yes, sir. We'll open one for you.
Thank you.
Please send who you want, what room and who you want to be with, who you want to be in the room with, and we'll make one.
Thank you so much, Rapporteur.
Co-chair, this is New Zealand speaking. I would also like to request for a separate breakout room. Thank you.
Okay. Rapture, New Zealand wants
Do you have anyone that you want to be in the room with?
I asked to be with China and Switzerland. Thank you.
And Delegate of Timor-Leste, who do you want to be on the breakout room? Please help our Rapture out.
I would like to be in a breakout room with Japan and Thailand.
Wait, I'll let everyone choose what room they want to enter, and I'm gonna open 4. If you need more, please let me know. And
Delegate of India would request everyone to be on one page as we are working for the humankind. So I would request that if you would work on one draft resolution, that would be better by adding everyone's suggestions, and it would be better even after like when we are going to do the voting. So I would suggest that to maintain like uh, to be on the one page and work together. That would be my
On that
request.
point, I think it will be better if we have multiple draft resolutions focusing on one specific topic so that the responses on that topic would be extensive. And then we're just going to merge it later on in the amendments part of this committee session so that we can have a comprehensive draft resolution.
To add to that, and although I agree with both of your points, I believe that with the short time that we have, it would be more efficient to discuss various ideas separately. And then, as the previous delegate mentioned, we can just merge it later on. After all, what we want is the betterment of all. Thank you.
Delegate of India would suggest one idea. We can make a Google form or even this Excel sheet where every country can write
Rapture,
their
turn
ideas.
the timer on.
So in there we can then collect all the ideas, and then again we
Thank
can
you
make
so
one
much.
extensive draft paper.
The delegation of Brazil supports the idea of delegate of India. As since we have very less time, it would be very nice that we all are in the same room so that we can discuss all the cumulative ideas together. Thank you.
Also, delegates, your break is coming in 10 minutes, so please be aware of that.
The Delegate of India would request everyone to join room 4 so that we can put an Excel sheet there, and everyone is welcome there to put all their ideas and suggestions so that we can make a better draft resolution paper.
No, feel free to discuss if anyone has anything to say on the main session as well.
Everyone or I think it's okay.
Okay, sure. Then you can just access the document here. It's a Google Doc.
Okay, thank you.
There. Hello to everyone here. I already sent the Google Doc link in the chat box for everyone to see, and you may access it if you prefer to do so. You may also add your country under the previously written countries, and then please do place the highlights or like the most important parts of your policies, so that from there we can deliberate and then choose which really are the most important, and then we can place them later on in the resolution. Also, feel free to speak right here. Like if you have any suggestions or comments, you can just turn on your microphone.
Okay. So we just type in now
Yeah. You can just type in the document.
yes, because we run out time, guys.
Yes, there's just 8 minutes left. Although, of course, we can ask for another unmoderated caucus later on.
Yes, that's right.
Sorry, I have question.
Yes.
Because my laptop is error. I cannot to access for Google Chrome. So that's right or that's fine or not?
Oh, sorry. So you cannot open the document?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then this not something wrong for your computer, but my computer is something wrong.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can just state your country's main policy so I can place them using my laptop, if that's okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Yes.
Sorry. Is it okay? Just mention the point, or you? Is it better to elaborate?
No, it's okay. It's okay to just state the main points, and then we can elaborate later on. Also, may I know who among you is already familiar with drafting the resolution?
Actually, this is my first time to join this MUN. So
Oh, okay. There's no problem.
never.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. How about the other delegates here? Is any of you familiar with
My
drafting
first
the
time too.
resolution? Oh, okay. What about the others? Going back, Central African Republic, what are the main points of your policy or solution so that I can type them here?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat again?
Oh, sorry. What are the main points or the highlights of your policies or solutions so that I can type it here in the working document?
That solution of pollution. That's about what?
To solve this
To solve the issue on monkeypox.
or what
Okay.
written in your position paper. I think it's okay.
Okay, that's my position paper that have a focus about the position of Central African Republic. Central African Republic is small country and have like sorry
Yeah, take
like
your time. It's
that's
okay.
much problem like complicated problem right?
Oh, okay.
And I think that's the problem for country cannot to finish for the government cannot to finish for the problem. But I'm research and actually input math that's much a paper about the epidemiology from Central African Republic.
Sorry. Can you please state what you previously stated? I didn't hear that quite properly. After your research part, what were you able to research about?
Okay, that's I research input math actually like platform for journal like that. That's
okay.
very much epidemiology and prevalence database from Central African Republic. I think that epidemiology and prevalence is so important. In my lecture, actually, I give question for my professor, and my professor say if that your country is so small and have much a problem like my country, Central African Republic.
Yes.
You cannot to open access for United Nations, actually like World Health Organization cannot to help for your country. And you can to highlight for your epidemiology and prevalence, like actually for database cannot be database For the
Database, yes.
yeah, database for the next research, if that's one to classification for virus. Actually, uh, I got for the point for the other delegates have big country like
Yes.
Japan, New Zealand, and many other
Yeah.
that's not have data for prevalence and data epidemiology for monkeypox disease, but actually Central Africa have that.
Ah, okay. So do you mean to focus that it is important to give emphasis on epidemiology and research?
Yeah,
Okay,
like that.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
What about the other countries here? Do you have any other suggestions? And also, I only see Switzerland, China, and Central African Republic's policies here in the document. Again, you may access the document that I sent in the chat, and then from there you can input your policies. If you are not able to open the document, you can just open your mic and then just like what Central African Republic did, you can explain the policies to me and then I will input them in the document so that we can take note of them while drafting the resolution. Thank you. Brazil and Iran, as well as Bangladesh, do you have anything to input for this? We'd love to hear your insights as well as your policies.
I want to add a point on that.
Yes.
Like we could set up an institution for the development and the research work from all the countries when the top institution for research and development will collaborate all its technologies and research work. So for the preparation for the development of better vaccines
Okay.
and treatment of people for this monkeypox virus and other upcoming diseases.
Okay, so
And this will be a long-term agreement.
yes, sure. Okay, so it's basically a long-term plan. So it's not just for monkeypox. We can use this institution for other diseases. Did I get that correctly?
Yeah, it will be an international level organization with the
Okay.
collaboration of different countries in the part
Okay.
of WHO.
So
Under the supervision of WHO, I guess.
okay, I'm glad to hear that because it's actually aligned with our fellow delegate China here because she also wishes to focus on our research, especially for vaccines. What about Iran and Bangladesh? We'd love to hear from you as well. Hello? Yes. Yes, you're audible. Oh, wait.
Healthcare facilities with qualified medical professionals.
Okay. Can you say that a bit louder? I'm sorry. Your voice is a bit faint.
Providing more free healthcare facilities with qualified medical workers.
Okay. So it's free healthcare facilities with qualified healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's noted. Free healthcare facilities with qualified healthcare workers, correct? Iran. Okay, thank you. What about Bangladesh? Do you have anything to input? We'd love to hear your insights. Bangladesh. If you do not wish to speak, maybe you can type your inputs via chat or again, use the document that I sent via the chat as well. Thank you. So free healthcare facilities with qualified healthcare workers. Do you for all this is for all the delegates, do you have any other inputs or are there any expressions of dissent? Do you not agree with anything that was previously mentioned for the previous motions earlier in the session? Or do you have certain points that you wish to put more emphasis on? So far we have for New Zealand, wait, allow me to discuss New Zealand's proposal. So I called it New Zealand was able to propose rapid. So it consists of three main actions, which is number one, rapid information sharing, and then number two, rapid response, and then the last would be rapid testing and contact tracing. So these seem like general actions, but they're all anchored on how urgent we implement them, right? Because we're talking about the lives of people here. You see, so it's very important that we have, or the government rather, has this sense of urgency. So I believe that rapid would also work well with your mentioned solutions here. So, for example, we have China's SEAL framework, which contains sustain, explore, educate, and link, and Switzerland's 4P strategy, as well as what Central African Republic, Brazil, and Iran mentioned earlier. Oh no, the breakout rooms will close in 56 seconds. Do you have any other things to say? Oh, by the way, for the following unmoderated caucuses, we can also stay in the same breakout room. So like, let's just talk later on about the further details. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really
Thank
appreciate
you
working
so
with you
much.
all. Thank you. I guess we should leave now because it's gonna close in 30 seconds. Bye. Thank you. See you later again.
Recording in progress.
Okay, delegates, now it's time for break. Now we are looking for a really specific motion to suspend the meeting and proceed for the break. Delegates who wishes to raise that motion, please raise your hand. Delegate of Colombia. Okay. Delegate of Timor-Leste.
The delegate of Timor-Leste would like to suspend the meeting for lunch break.
Thank you so much, delegates. So delegates, please hydrate yourself, have a proper meal. We have a lot of work to do after the break. And yes, good luck for the upcoming debate we are having after the break. Take care till then. Thank you so much.
Recording stopped.
Japan, you have a query?
Hello, what time should we be back in this meeting?
Right after 45 minutes. 40 minutes to be exact. Not 45, 40 minutes.
Yes, you can come back at 2 p.m. GMT+7 delegates, and don't forget to fill up the gossip box with your hottest tea. Thank you, delegates, and enjoy your break time.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Chair.
I hope everyone gets to eat well.
Enjoy your lunch.
Delegates, you don't need to leave the meeting. You can just turn off your camera and mute yourself.